have a bite.
But the tacos are really nice. Take this one and take this other ones.
Eat. Aha. Nice. Sawa, nivo. Sasa you can.
Cheersing to it. I will cheers to you. Yes.
To my dawa.
Hey, this has been so much fun.
I know. Welcome to my amazing channel. Today is a beautiful day. You can see someone so beautiful beside me.
Hey guys.
She's going to introduce herself. And of course, today we are going to tackle matters mental health, depression, anxiety, and all that. Because we've seen that there's a lot happening around and it's affecting our youths. And most of them don't know how to tackle it, how to deal with it, and where to get some help. So we are here to give you that, bearing in mind that you know that I'm a therapist, and she will actually tell us who she is. But in the meantime, my people, make sure you click that subscription bell and notification bell as well to be notified every time I'm uploading a new video. We said this channel is for positive energy. Please, we want people to be coming to this channel just to get that energy. And with that being said, let's dig in. So welcome.
Thank you so much. I'm so honored to be here today. Yeah. So Dr. Christine Ontiria. I'm a medical officer. I am just a general practitioner in layman's language. This is my 4th year of practice in the field. I also have a YouTube channel, but that's a story for another day. Today we are here and we just want to bring the positivity into this channel.
Yes. And I actually, okay, I normally talk like I'm addressing the nation.
Of course you are addressing the entire nation.
So I met Christine at Ikojnlive event. This is that brand. I'm actually wearing their belt.
Oh, today I didn't
Actually,
wear Icon. I feel
yes.
so bad,
It's
but
okay.
Icon is my go-to
Yes.
clothing brand. I love Icon.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we didn't even talk that day.
Yeah.
We did not have a conversation.
Yeah,
But I
remember.
reached out later because I was like, I saw this chick, I saw her.
Thank you for reaching out. I was really honored by it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And here we are now. Yeah, I'm so excited. I'm so blessed. Thank you for making time to join me on this place. We are at the social house.
Yeah.
It's at Lavington.
Along James Gichuru Road.
Yes,
Yeah.
and it's a very
Beautiful place.
amazing place. So you can still come here
Yeah.
and do your content here. Unaweza leta mpoa wako pia.
Hey, yeah, this place is amazing. If you're a content creator, they have good background, good lighting, amazing services. They
Yeah.
are so helpful.
Yeah.
So absolutely, we are so lucky to just be shooting this here.
I'm telling you. And
Yeah.
thank you for suggesting it.
Yeah. I love social house. Anybody who knows me knows this is my place.
This is your place.
This is my hangout.
It's actually homely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. I am going to do more videos here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, let's get into it.
The deep dive.
Yes. On line of work, I'm very sure you've interacted with a lot of youths.
Yeah.
And the struggles they are facing. On my line of work as well, I've interacted with a lot of youths who are struggling with drug abuse, depression, even suicidal.
Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe you can enlighten us on layman's language what depression is.
Okay, so my people, depression is a state of just feeling worthless, feeling hopeless, feeling like the world is just not in sync with who you are or with your soul. And for most people, it's just a state of low energy, low mood, doing things out of the norm that are not in sync with who you are as a person. And for most people, when you're depressed, you don't even know that you're depressed, but you are just acting out of character. But mostly it's all about having that low mood, feeling worthless, feeling hopeless, feeling like life is not worth living, Yeah, so that is in layman's language because we don't want to bring the medical jargon
Jargons,
into
yeah,
the
yeah. We are not
Yeah.
dealing with medical stuff.
Yeah, I'm just
Yes.
trying to keep it very basic, very, very, just ukuju.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's so true. You've mentioned what depression is, and actually, uh, can I say the most awakening thing about depression is people don't realize they have
Yeah.
depression
Yeah.
when they're in it.
When they're in it, actually, I think when you start seeing the light at the end of the tunnel,
Yes.
that's when you start realizing, oh, actually, I
that was
was
depression.
depressed. I was in a dark space. There was a dark cloud hanging over my head.
Yes.
And contrary to popular opinion, depression is something which is so common. People think it's just a few people who are depressed and whatnot. Actually, like, depression is more common than happiness. It's just that people do not realize that they are depressed. All of us at some point, for as long as you are above the age of 25,
Yeah.
you have experienced some level of depression.
Yes.
Yeah, it's the magnitude, the severity that is different
Yeah.
for people.
Yeah.
And I think for us, we tend to focus on the severe form.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what we define as depression. But depression actually can be a very mild thing.
Mild thing, yeah.
Yeah.
So true. Even moderate.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, how can you know that you're depressed?
Okay, I'll just speak out of a personal experience. I
Yeah.
think that will resonate more with people.
Yeah.
There's a time, I think, when I was, how old was I at that time? Let me see. No, a woman never tells her age. But a few years ago, let's say 4, when I finished my internship. So anyone who understands our field, when you're an intern, you are on a salary. So when you finish internship, if there is no smooth transition to employment, people tend to get depressed because you had an income.
Yeah.
You are probably paying your own rent. You had independentized, you are helping people, you are a very, very noble person in society.
Yes, and actually people would see you as a doctor already.
Yeah.
Yes.
And they don't understand, like, there's a transition between internship and employment.
And employment, yes.
So for me, I had 6 years of unemployment. Not 6 years, sorry, 6
6
months.
months.
Oh my God. I had 6 months of unemployment. And these 6 months were just like the hardest, darkest days of my life. So yeah, at that point, I was feeling hopeless. I was feeling like life is just not going the way I want it to be. So what I realized at that time that I was doing a lot is I was drinking so much. I was taking a lot of alcohol, and I was just having this behavior where I used to get into arguments with my friends, with my family, things that didn't even matter,
Yeah.
Then you realize you had this toxic streak of behavior whereby I never really used to want to get out of the house. I had this situation whereby I was spending money very badly, the little that I had.
Yeah.
And then you end up blaming the unemployment for your brokenness. Those toxic traits, those toxic behaviors.
Cycles.
Yeah. And it took like my sister to come and talk to me and tell me, Christine, and a few friends, obviously, we are a bit worried about your behavior. And of course, even at that time, you still deny.
Yes.
You're still in denial. Like, you guys are just, you are actually not being fair in your judgment.
Yes.
But I think after some time, and I was, down a very bad path, I got a job. So it was just like by happenstance.
So that was after how long?
After around 6 months now.
Okay.
All these things happened within the 6 months.
6 months.
So around my 7th month of unemployment, there was a job that was advertised by Universal Health Coverage. It was a 6-month contract, and I got it. And when I went to work, I realized I was actually depressed because now my behavior started changing. I started feeling better about myself. I started being more responsible for my choices. And of course, I started having those daily affirmations, trying to put myself in a pattern which was healthy.
Yeah.
And I think my depression, I would say, was mild, but it was there.
There, yes.
Yeah. So basically, those are the signs and symptoms of depression. When you're just acting out of character, you have no hope, you feel worthless, you're doing weird stuff, personal hygiene
Low.
in the gutter.
Not even there. Not even there. Yes.
Yeah.
Things you
Yeah.
used to enjoy,
They don't give you that.
They don't give you that
yeah.
anymore.
Yeah.
And then there's this part of you are broke and you are using the little money you have to buy alcohol.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
you're broke again.
Then now you want to blame your situation in life, you know.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's how most people, I think that's how most people have been escaping from this
Yeah.
depression.
Yeah.
They are not aware that they are depressed. And then the little money they have, they do not have enough. But the little money they have, they decide to go buy alcohol with it so that they can numb the pain
Yeah.
and how they feel. And then with that, it becomes a cycle.
Yeah, which is repetitive and unhealthy.
Yeah.
And actually, for me, I remember there was even a time where I could have this excuse for I'm even taking very cheap alcohol. It's not consequential, you know. If I'm taking liquor for 500 shillings, how can you say I'm wasting money?
But the effect.
But you know the effect, yeah, you become very unproductive, you know.
Yeah.
Even if you're not spending a lot of money on it, as much as the liquor is cheap, it's putting you in a state where you cannot be productive.
Yes, yes.
And what I also want to make very clear is we are not in any way condemning drinking. I personally drink, but for social purpose.
Yes.
So the drinking that we are talking about is the destructive drinking whereby someone is trying to escape
Yes.
a reality.
Yes,
Yeah, not the
yes.
social drinking whereby you're just, bonding with your buddies,
Yes.
celebrating something.
Yeah.
And actually, there's a friend of mine who always tells me, don't drink when you're sad.
Exactly.
Drink when you're happy, when
Yes.
you're celebrating.
Yeah, when you're celebrating.
Yeah, don't
yes.
drink to.
I think I saw this. I
escape.
don't know if it was a meme or it was a what.
Yeah.
When they're saying your life sucks, and I think it was talking about Nairobi people. Their lives sucks,
Yeah.
but they are drunk. What are you celebrating?
Oh my goodness, I've never heard of it.
Like your life already
Yeah,
sucks,
yeah.
and every Friday you are drunk, Saturday you are drunk. So that is now what we are talking about.
Yeah,
You are
yeah.
just running away from this
Reality.
miserable life of
Yeah,
yours.
yeah.
So I think that one came out very clear. Now we understand what depression is, and now you can pinpoint some of the things to know you are depressed or not. And there are some other things like lack of sleep
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
or oversleeping.
Or oversleeping.
Yes.
Lack of eating.
Or overeating,
Yeah.
yes, and then it can come out with suicidal thoughts.
Yeah, yeah.
If it's severe.
Yeah.
Yes.
It can be suicidal, it can be parasuicidal. Parasuicidal are those people who come off as if they want to commit suicide.
Yeah.
And it's actually a whistle blowing kind of thing. Yeah?
Yes, yes.
They will actually like go all the way. They will go, but they'll not go all the way.
The way to it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
They will tell people, I'm going to commit suicide, and
Yeah.
then, yeah. So there's suicide, there's parasuicide, and in extreme cases, even homicides.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes,
This
to
is
you.
it.
Yes.
To my Jawa.
Hey, this has been so much fun.
I know. We are drinking responsibly. So this
Of
is
course.
not the substance abuse we are talking about. We are happy. We are shooting. We are very happy. Yeah.
We are accomplishing something here.
Yes. So, you've shared your experience and how you used to drink, how you used to stay in your house alone. Like that is now isolating yourself from
Yeah.
other people, and then not able to take responsibility.
Yeah.
And this part of toxic behavior, was it about the alcohol?
Yeah, you see, the thing is, when you are in a frustrated point in your life,
Yeah.
it was not about alcohol. It's called projection. You tend to project your negative feelings
To others.
Yeah, to others. That's why they say when your friend has a dark cloud, that the rain will end up catching with you.
Yes.
Because this friend is gonna project their negativity onto your life, and as much as you don't want to be in that negative space,
Yeah.
it will catch up.
Yeah.
So I realized I actually was even beginning to lose a few friends. Not losing them per se, but they were beginning to
Distance.
avoid,
Yes.
and distance themselves. So that's when then I had to sit back and reflect on what like my life was, and that's when my sister came in and other people who cared about me so much, and they tried to tell me, you know what, Christine, if you're going through something, you need to find help.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's when I started soul searching, doing daily affirmations, reminding myself that I was worthwhile, that I had a space in, this world.
Yeah.
And it is normal to feel that way. This is the thing. Like, people see people who are working, people who seem to have things together,
Yeah.
and they imagine that these people have a perfect life.
Yeah.
And that even worsens their depression. But
Exactly.
everybody goes through depression.
Actually,
Everyone
this
does.
coming from a doctor,
Yeah.
you can imagine. People cannot imagine
They
like
can't.
doctors can be depressed,
Oh, we are the most depressed,
depressed people in the
actually.
world.
Yeah, we are.
Actually, there's someone who, okay, I'm a meme person. Do you like memes?
I love memes. I am a meme consumer. I'm not a meme lord.
Oh,
I
you
consume.
are a meme consumer. They were talking about how doctors are, they will show you. Actually, there's a client who told me that if you date a doctor, utapigwa character development ya hali.
Mbona watuharibia jina? Why?
Because wanasemanga doctors are they don't know they are depressed. They don't know pia the
The level of toxicity that they have.
and pia the kind of work they do exposes them to can I say more challenging things than just a heartbreak.
Yeah. So
to
heartbreaking,
them,
like a very
like
minuscule.
like I've been through hell.
Yeah.
Surviving in a medical school is
Is
hell.
already difficult
Exactly.
enough for
And then
anyone.
yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Actually, that's true, because I feel like ever since I started practicing, there is not so many things that can really fuzz me. Like you just
yeah.
you have seen people suffering, real life situations where people are suffering and there is no hope.
Yeah.
And then there's this person who has hope and they're trying to make their hopeful situation seem hopeless.
Yeah.
So I think that's where doctors eventually really detach from their feelings. And that makes them poor partners, that makes them bad friends.
Yes.
Because they really don't have time for the small, And the
Yeah.
small matters. So like for me, I really try to just always stay in touch with the small things. Because sometimes the career can really desensitize you.
Kabisa can change even who you are.
It can desensitize who you are.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
true.
So you said you deal with that. How do you deal with that, by the way, to balance?
I always just try to remember that I'm a human being first before I'm a doctor. I don't get into the whole God complex of doctors.
Yes.
That's a thing, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you treat diseases long enough, you can start getting the God complex. If you
Yes.
don't, remember that this is just you doing God's work.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
you're just a vessel.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I always try to remember I was a human being first before I was a doctor, I was a daughter, I was a sister, I was
a friend.
I was a girlfriend,
Yeah.
So you always try to make sure that all these aspects of your life are being taken care of, or
Yeah.
you will lose yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So true.
And actually that losing yourself will now tip you into
the
depression.
depression.
Yeah.
And now start the cycle of the drug
Toxicity
abuse.
and whatnot.
Yeah, and all that. So that was very interesting. That was very
You,
interesting.
Ebu, now you don't want to talk about yourself. How do you deal with it?
Hey, I think I've been depressed most of the time, especially when I was starting my business. Okay, I've been depressed, but now it was making sense now because I was a bit enlightened.
Yeah.
So I could know, hey,
Yeah.
this one is depression. So
You started getting the signs and you started
I
being
could
aware.
not. Mine was so bad in that I could not sleep early because I was afraid. Ikifika like a time like 3 a.m.
You wake up.
the sleep is gone.
Wow.
It was that bad.
Yeah.
So I even took some antidepressants to help me sleep.
And you are the kind of a person who's helping people out
Yes.
of their depression.
Yes, I'm the person helping people out of depression.
So how are you balancing that? Like, you are in this situation where you're not okay, but
Yes.
so many people are looking at you for hope,
Yes,
and you have to fix them.
that was the hardest. That is actually the hardest thing that I've ever dealt with.
Yeah.
Because have you ever seen a patient come to you and they describe, there's a tool we normally use to, to assess
Depression.
if you are depressed.
Yeah.
So on that tool, there was a day I used that tool to ask the questions to assess depression. And you know,
Usiniambie you were on the extreme.
I'm assessing a client, but every question that client I
Is
was asking,
answering.
it was yes for me.
For you.
Yes. Yes.
So you were more depressed than the
Than the-
patient.
yes.
And you were there supposed to help them.
Yes.
Man,
So
what
it was
we go through.
it was so bad in that you couldn't share it with anyone.
Yeah.
And when you share it, actually by that time the information about depression was not so very.
Yeah.
They are like, you'll be fine. Just
Yeah.
go and rest.
It's a lot of stigma in this country.
And I was
when it comes to
suffering at
depression.
night. I was
Yeah.
actually suffering at night because
Yeah.
can you imagine unasikia watu wanangorota and you are
And
not
you can't
able to.
sleep.
And then
Uh-huh.
si nimelala tuseme saa 6 at 12 midnight ndio at least nilale 3 usingizi imepotea. Tell me what I will be doing.
Whoa, and people are sleeping.
Yes.
This is
So that is where I decided now I can now create content. I started being creative.
Something positive came out of it.
I started being
see.
creative because
Yeah.
now when I at 3 a.m. my mind is actually very active and so ideas just come. So every time I used to feel that way, I used to wake up and write down. And I love journals. You've seen I have a journal. I love journals.
And she has a very nice handwriting. You guys, mine is in the gutter. But this Chile's handwriting.
It's so good. Thank you. Thank you.
Please lend me your handwriting for a day. I'll impress my patient.
I will give you tutorials. So
Yeah.
now, at that 3 a.m., I used to wake up when now I cannot sleep. I just write.
Yeah.
Write the ideas which are coming, how I am feeling, how I feel, if I feel miserable, all
You just
that.
note it down.
And then after I do that, maybe like 4-ish, I can get some sleep.
That is really, really helpful. Yeah, that is
Yeah.
actually, it's called respecting that this is how I'm feeling.
Yes.
You respect your body
Yeah.
and you acknowledge.
Yeah.
When you acknowledge, you start to heal.
Exactly.
That is the first step. You must acknowledge this is where I am.
Yes.
I acknowledge to you, my brain, that I am depressed.
Yes.
Let's work on it.
On it.
Let's get you dusted. Yeah, that's the first step actually.
Yeah. And actually, after you've acknowledged that is where you are,
Yeah.
imagine you start.
Yeah, it's an upward journey
Yes,
from
yeah,
there.
Yeah. So that was it.
Nice.
But right now,
I think your story is so inspiring.
Is it?
Yeah, it is.
I actually wanted this channel to be just your story, and then I realized now you're interviewing me.
Yeah. No, I really need people to understand like it's something that everybody goes through.
Exactly.
There is a very common misinformation that it's all about, people are depressed because, I don't know, there are these kinds of people.
Yeah.
They're crazy.
Yeah.
That's why there's a lot of stigma. Like if someone comes and admits online that they're depressed, especially in Kenya, I think you can receive a lot of backlash. Like
It's too
people
much.
will not, especially maybe if you're rich or if you're in a career, they expect a certain kind of a person to be depressed. But anyone can be depressed because we all deal with different things in life.
Yeah.
We are all dealt very different cards.
Yeah.
And these cards are difficult for some people, easy for others.
Yeah.
So you cannot really quantify how or where or who should be.
Depressed
Yeah.
and not
Yeah.
depressed.
Yeah.
And the fact that it's not that there are some jobs which predispose us to depression, especially our work.
High
We are
pressure.
dealing with. So, Sisi, we are so.
Hey, Kwanza, let me tell you what that point reminds me. This is another thing that I have noticed. Like in Kenya, or rather, I don't know if it's everywhere, but I'll speak where I am.
Yes.
There's a lot of employment work toxicity. The
Say that
workplace
again.
is
Say that
toxic.
again.
It's toxic for most people, by
Yes,
the way. It's
yeah.
either you're being overworked,
Yes.
you have a bad boss,
You are underpaid.
you are underpaid, you have bad colleagues.
You are working for long hours.
Yes, or you have those office relationships,
harassment,
or office affairs.
Yes.
Which end badly.
and office politics.
Yeah,
Don't
yeah.
forget that.
And also office politics. So having been employed for a while, like I can tell you, half of the people who are employed
Yeah.
could be
Depressed.
because
Yes.
the workplace is very toxic.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I think that's a topic we can talk about.
Yeah,
That is
yeah.
a topic we can talk about actually.
And we want to
Yeah.
know what you guys think about it. Just comment down below. Tell us if you think
Yeah.
we are tripping or we have a point.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it will be very important, and
Yeah.
we if you approve,
We'll go. We'll
yes,
run with it.
Yes. Yes.
All right.
I'm tired.
I know. But I think we are.
Nikata, look, it's like that. Like that. You see?
Yeah, this is nice.
Okay. Try talking.
Hi, my name is Christine. I'm a medical officer.
Hi, my name is Jacqueline. I'm a therapist.